restart the YouTube stream. Hopefully. Our Price was the name of the store originally. And then there was an Our Price that got nuked, got replaced by Virgin Megastores / HMV, depending on who got lucky. Same time as the other big bookstores like Borders. I used to like going to the Borders. And like Barnes and Noble, etc. It was a good time. All right. We're vaguely okay. Good enough for Disney. We're going to bang on with the Genestealer Purple. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. I do apologize, YouTube. I don't know what happened there. It's probably been a disaster. However, nothing new there. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so basically, 2000... I'm getting my maths. Yeah, 2002, I moved back from America in August, September. Moved back from the States. Sort of moped around a bit while I was trying to find a job. I knew there's a family friend who was a costume designer on a film, so I got a job as a runner for the costume department on a film until I had a seizure and had to give up my driving license. What? Just happened there? What just happened? Oh, you know what? I bet you I was... Hold on. Barnes & Noble is still about. You should, Avian. You should go there before it goes sideways. I don't know if it'll go sideways. I'd imagine it will do. I have a sneaky suspicion there was a... okay, my G drive. It just got completely nuked. What happened to it? You poor sweet thing. What's today's date? 20... As we're all remuxed. Vertical. What's today's date? 14th of thingamajig. That 1 month, April. Oh. Okay, let's delete you. You can go. And how big is this file? That is also going to skedaddle. Yes. I think we... Empty recycle bin. Be gone, foul beast. Give me that gigabyte back. Yeah. That drive is so bad. He said, no, I'm taking it dump as he proceeded to pull up his trousers. No way, Lucian. No way. That's just... In a churchyard? Behind a grave? Do you reckon they hated that person? And they were sort of doing some weird... belated... sort of... thing? Oh, I'm going to get you sometime, sunshine. I worked around Soho, etc., and then worked in investment. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, so I worked on the film for a bit. Had a seizure, couldn't drive, so I couldn't do my job, which sucked because I really enjoyed it. And then I think I took a job interview at Aardman Animation. Didn't get that job, unfortunately. That would have been sweet. Working on some Wallace and Gromit type stuff. Then I started applying for jobs in theatre as well, and ended up working for Disney. Curse them. So yeah, and then 2004, I started working for Disney sometime, I think. I don't know. I might have my timetable muddled up. I did enjoy like my early-ish 20s or whatever. I did enjoy working in London at that time, although nowadays you would basically literally have to pay me to go there. My middle brother, he lives London area. Curse him. Keep trying to talk him out. Unfortunately, he's got a very good. He runs his business there, and it's doing very well. So he's not likely to move out anytime soon. He thought you asked if he was mourning. It's like they were homeless. You worked on film on non-linear editing for movies. Oh, really? Well, I do remember. Well, I don't know why, but I do know there were some editing houses. I don't know what the word is. Editing shops, is that a word? In Soho. Because there was a magazine I used to read. Well, maybe you'll know of it. It was a magazine. It was like it was not vertical. It was more like a bit more landscape. It was probably about that big, maybe. And it was basically full of like filming things and special effects things, camera things probably. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the magazine. Effects. You think Edit stores edits, but also does effects? That is why Disney hired me. They were already, yeah, exactly. They really were, Avian. They had no other choice. I was like, listen, you're already scraping the barrel. You've let me in the door. You basically have to give me a job. And they did. It's a terrible Jimmy Carr joke. Oh, that was a Jimmy Carr joke? Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I can't remember all of his jokes, unfortunately. I wish I could. I was watching some Cats Does Countdown repeats earlier today. You had that yearly book, which was like a small ring binder. Oh, okay. I don't think it was that. It was like I want to say it was a monthly magazine, but I don't know if it really was a monthly magazine. Wrong way, Badger. I was saying they were the worst of the lot. Oh, no. I thought you were saying I was the worst of the lot. Well, I don't know. I'm all right. I'm okay. I have my moments. I had the names of the contacts in the film industry. Oh, okay. No, I did not know that one. Like, I had some friends who ended up working on. So I had some friends who ended up working on digital with Digital Domain in the States. Managed to get a look around when I went to LA. Managed to have a look around Digital Domain, which was wild. Very interesting stuff going on there. And like some people I went to college with, they ended up working for Weta and stuff like that. I would not do that to you. Well, it's all right. Like I can, you know, I'm not going to get too offended. I had to contact the producer of Aliens. You mean like one of my most favorite films of all time? Warning him that someone was impersonating him. Really? Cinefex. That was it. Cinefex. That was it. I've been struggling like recently. My memory is not great. At the best of times. Cinefex was the magazine I was thinking of, but I was also trying to remember the names of other magazines from like the late 90s. Really struggling. Not Fangoria, but there was one called you know what, I remembered it last night and I can't remember it now. Damn it. Anyway, they weren't amazing magazines or anything like that, but they were quite weirdly sort of niche. It was not smut, before anyone comes up with hilarious smutty magazines. I wouldn't know what they were called. But one was called Taboo, which does sound smutty. But there was another magazine which was, I think, kind of similar. But I don't think that went on for quite as long. Or maybe I've just confused and just imagined a magazine into existence. So they went down to NZ. Yes, they worked on... Oh, God. He was my year, I believe. Like, we weren't, like, friends. We didn't hang out or anything like that. But, or, like, he wasn't in my friend group or whatever. Pretty sure he ended up moving it down there. Because I think he worked on King Kong. He did that alien, South African alien one. I think he sort of did the concept for the alien. I know he's done films, some tutorials or whatever for... there's a company in LA which does a whole load of DVDs. Gnomon. Gnomon. In fact, I have some of their DVDs on, like, you know, 3D modeling, and I think I got one on... What's the word? Not rotoscoping. Like when you move the camera and you have your 3D scene, you wanna make sure it plots directly onto the CG camera as well. So I think I got one of those videos, which was interesting stuff. I think Weta is entirely New Zealand. I could be mistaken. No, Roland. I don't mean Knave or Penthouse. I'm not actually sure if I've ever heard of Knave magazine. That's a new one. Did I miss out? I don't know. I remember when cinemas had their own magazines and the video store Ritz. I remember the video store Ritz, yeah. She does have quite an interesting production credit. Some good bangers. Plenty of competent movies. We do like absolute bangers here. That's not innuendo. We do #appreciate good banger or two. Right. We are doing Genestealer purple. I promise. I think we might get rid of this camera here. What I would like is like maybe it would just on the cat it'll be like a close-up image of the pot of paint we're using. I've thrown up some of the Steeler... Okay, in public chat. So this is the problem. Like the... Yeah, there is a range of purpley pinks, etc. for the skins. I don't really remember like some of them being quite so desaturated. Like in that box of Genestealers, those front two, like the middle and front right, they're quite sort of desaturated almost. Which was actually what we had on this originally. I did take a picture of it. But I'm not going to do multiple flesh tones on these particular ones. I think we're just going to try and stick to what we can on this as best as I can. But it makes perfect sense that there'd be like a variety of fleshy shades within the sort of range of magenta or like light purple or whatever. Certainly don't need to be accurate. Same with. Ooh. Same with like human skin or whatever. Bit of variety, but it doesn't look silly. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to attempt to stay vaguely, just for the sake of my own sanity. Like, we're not going to go literally paint by numbers. We're not going to go literally, you'll do half the head this color, then a third of that color, and then a third of that color. But as long as we're using the same palette, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. We can just sort of jump around between those colors and sort of use a little bit more and a little bit less here and there. And not get too worried about such things. As long as this is within the same ballpark, so to speak. Do. I wonder what happened with the internet there. It's like the entire internet just went splat. No internet for you, sunshine. If that's going to become a regular thing at the same time, then we may have to change the entire stream timetable, which would be a disaster. I do not want to be doing that. Because that doesn't really leave us many options otherwise if we have to change stream time. I don't really want to do morning streams because my brain is not even awake in the morning. Trying to string a sentence together would be a nightmare at the best of times. First thing in the morning is definitely not the time for me to attempt to like either be awake or I don't know. I have less patience in the morning, especially to silly questions and people trying to be hilarious. Do you know those people? I don't know. But there always seems to be someone who tries to be hilarious, and you've got to deal with it somehow. I'm going to drink some delicious coffee, though, in the meantime. So we are getting there. We are going to be heading a little bit towards this scheme. Hold on. Putting them in the shade doesn't do them any favors either. We will get them looking all right. And we got I think we're going to go with a rusty steel base. So we do have some steel paint over there. And we do have some rusty things. There's a bit of pipe in an interesting orientation. It's very odd. But we do have some steel there. We can put some rust in there. Some scrag brown. Break that bad boy out. One of the best paints of all time. Which can sort of replicate a bit of rust. Slap on some Nuln Oil. Happy days. Delicious. All right. As I said, I think I will be doing a proper a proper YouTube video on this at some point. With one of these. Unfortunately, I've already kind of pre-painted a bunch of them. Like, they've all got blue on them, so I have to do a really thin coat of black and pretend that I've not repainted them. I'll just have to go, in the YouTube video. For those of you with eyes of a wizard or a hawk, you may have noticed that this miniature has actually been pre-painted. You broke it like the time with Kim Kardashian. Hello? I didn't go anywhere. I swear to God, I did not go anywhere. My internet is still strong. We just dropped all the frames. Because like YouTube, according to Twitch, according to OBS, my stream is still streaming. We need to get Elton John playing I'm Still Standing, but swap out the words. We dropped all the frames. I don't know what happened. Apologies. You see me and hear me. I don't know. I don't quite understand what the whole breaking of the internet, how did she break it, by the way? I never really understand. I evidently missed the entire, the whatever it was about that. I completely missed the notification on it. So, if you want to go into some vague detail, please tell me. But yeah, I did not break it. However, feel free to break it with all the Twitch and YouTube likes and follows and subscribes and all of those sorts of things. Wiggly eyebrows all over the place. There was some photo of her with a glass on her butt or something. Really? Folks, we're like 3 or 4 followers away from beating our all-time high on Twitch. If you have friends, send them my way. Make sure they smash the follow button. Really? I'm not Googling it. I am Googling it. I don't know what to Google, though. How do you spell her name? Is there an H in it? Really? Oh, she broke the internet in 2014 when she posed for Paper magazine with a glass on her butt while popping a champagne. It made a massive impact. Oh, that one. Okay. That broke the internet. Jesus. I have returned. I don't know what's going on with the internet, Roland. Apparently we're doing better than Kim Kardashian when it comes to breaking the internet. So she can do one. That would be the technical term. It was a French brand of champagne, Le Delier Grand Champagne. Really? Well, surely. Hold on. What was the film? What was the film, or what was it? Which comedian said, "Well, all champagne would be French"? Obviously, I'm completely missing what that comedian or what film. I can't remember it word for word. But he was like, "All champagne is like by definition French," etc., etc. Not massively into champagne. Like, I'll have a glass of it on an occasion, but I went to a party when I was young and drank nothing but champagne, and because I didn't know anyone, I went to the party, got absolutely smashed or drinking way too much champagne, and yeah, just did not have a good time. It was terrible. Seriously, dude, it was. Like, I was 16 or 17. I went to this party. Like, it was someone's. Like, it was someone I went to school with. It was on the King's Road or somewhere. It was somewhere very expensive. I bumped into an older school friend I'd not seen in probably a decade, which made things better. But then, but by then I'd been drinking way too much champagne already. It's just really felt very uncomfortable going to that place. It was not my sort of idea of a good time. Standing around and making chit chat with people you don't know. Absolutely terrifying. I know I've completely ignored painting the head. I've painted around the face, but we've got the back of the bonds to paint in just a hot minute. Thank you, Instagram. I mean, the bot for spitting out my Instagram and YouTube and Twitch and X, etc. Very kind of you. But yeah, we're almost back to where we used to be on when Twitch followers before we stopped streaming. When we sold the house. So we can finally work on growing the channel again. It's been a long old slog though, my God. Okay, let's get this bonce done. You need some more water in, I think. Okay, wait for that to dry. That first initial pass. Aye. Okay. Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Has anyone else heard about the findings under the pyramids? Wait, which findings are we talking about? Are we talking about the massive pillars all the way down? Are we going full on conspiracy theories, Lucian? Is that what we're talking about? To the library of knowledge all the way down, however deep it is supposed to be. Is that what we're talking about, or am I just like? I'm not into these conspiracy theories, just to clarify. But I do read about them occasionally and go, what the hell? What the hell have people been smoking? Magnus wants his books back. Okay, so we are talking about this library which which apparently they've hidden many feet below the desert, below the pyramids. I always like the idea of Stargate. Obviously, you know, Kurt Russell, that Stargate, like it's a sort of landing pad for weird flying things from outer space. Saw a few on FB and I was like, is this just me? No, Lucian, okay. Because I saw I was skimming through YouTube last week sometime and I saw someone, it's like Thursday or Friday, I was skimming through YouTube and I saw this thing. I was like, what the hell? I clicked on it. And they were talking about, I guess what you're talking about as well. And they were having a right old giggle about it, saying they can't be serious. This is utterly insane. I love that film. I mean, I am a big fan of Kurt Russell, as we know. All his films are amazing, and that's just the truth. And that's all there is to say on it, you know. But I mean, I wouldn't normally. Like, I almost considered watching Bone Tomahawk again last week. I saw that appear on my Amazon. I thought, oh damn it! I wish they'd. Then I saw it was behind another paywall. I think it was behind like not Universal, but one of those other streaming services that you can apparently get somehow on Amazon now. I thought, okay, phew, I don't know. I'm not going to pay for that. I do love that film, but also at the same time, dear God. That high-pitched wailing when it happens. Yeah. Just. Oh, that scene is horrific. Everyone knows, especially you know, the chaps. I mean, like everyone I've spoken to, everyone's always just like, that's the scene. It's just like, dear God. Yeah. I do love that film, though. But then again, as I said, Kurt Russell's in it, so I don't really have much of a choice. Tombstone. I've not watched Backdraft in a hot minute, though. Ha! Pun intended. I might have to watch Backdraft again at some point. But The Thing I always watch. Like, that's last few years, that's almost been like a monthly thing. This year it's kind of dropped off once every 2 or 3 or 4 months. I watch The Thing. But I make sure that gets the required viewing per year. The Fire is Like It's Alive, I know. I did like that film. I'm going to have to watch it again. It's a good one. I can't remember what year it came out. 90s, obviously. Back when the good films were made. But I can't remember exactly when. Obviously, and the 80s were made. They made good films as well. Goes without saying. Right. Are we almost there with this cursed colour? Does anyone have can anyone definitively say what their most favorite film is? Like, if they had to choose one. I don't think I can do that. Like, I have thought about this an awful lot. Like, I know what my sort of top 10 films are, I think. Although I keep getting confused halfway around listing them off in my head. But I don't think, like, whatever goes to number one spot is never really the same every time. It's always from the same sort of block of high quality films. Leash, I will show you what I did. I'm a bit miffed, to be honest. I'm not in a bad state with them. It's just, okay. This wet palette's all right for a hot minute. No, not really. I've got quite a few, and it depends on the mood. I think, yeah, probably. That probably is a good one. Ooh. So all my Genestealers, we've got all the ones from Space Hulk. I think we were actually missing a few, unfortunately. But I did hose them down with a contrast blue, a Leviathan blue, or whatever it's called, which I'm not massively happy with. And then I thought, okay, we'll use some other paints and see if we can come up with something. In fact, I used night blue, but this coverage is just not great. I think via the airbrush it's smashing, but like with the brush it wasn't great. So I'm just making this one suffer and basically being a test thing. So I mixed a blue, I'm trying to remember what blue it was called. I mixed a dark blue with black, and airbrushed it on. Like, I don't know. Genestealers are basically like the first Genestealers and Space Marines are basically the first, Terminators specifically, are the first sort of 40k miniatures that I ever came across, due to like Space Crusade, Space Hulk. So as much as which is probably why I really hate Genestealers and Tyranids in general, because they just, it was really hard to, like, it was hard for me at the time to, like, win at Space Hulk when I was a Terminator, you know, on the side of the good guys, so to speak. The Genestealers were just horrific. It was horrific. But that's why I want to paint them in the sort of those early colours, sort of, as much as possible. But like my films, my favourite films, I don't think any, I think they're all basically 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Basically, it's Ghostbusters, The Thing, Aliens, Terminator 1 and 2, Predator, Commando, Total Recall, The Running Man. That's 10 already. It's basically what I grew up on watching those films. So that's, you know, those are all like late 80s, early 90s. Die Hard 1 and 2, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. What else? Shawshank Redemption I do like a lot. Some Jean-Claude Van Damme films, RoboCop. Basically the good films from the good old days. Right. I'm going to paint a little bit of this. We're not going to highlight. Huge amounts. You have to admit, though, as a game space, oh, it's great. Absolutely adore it. I absolutely love Space Hulk, and I'm so glad that, like, my friend at the time brought it into school. I don't know how long we played it for, but it was so cool playing that game. And as you say, very tense. I do get confused as to which one I actually played first at school. I don't know if it was actually in the order that they came out in. And it was we didn't have the expansion, so there wasn't, at least I'm pretty sure we didn't, like he never had the expansions. We'll have to put the shadow under that wrinkle later. Drat. See, I do wonder, like, maybe if, as I've said this before on streams, if that friend had brought in Advanced Hero Quest, then maybe I would have probably gone down more like Warhammer Fantasy side of things, rather than, you know, 40k and things would have been entirely different. I would have way more fantasy things, or I'd imagine I really do like Warhammer Fantasy a lot. Obviously, it led on to more time, the best game, basically the best game of all time, which wasn't Space Hulk. It's Tommy, what's cracking, dude? Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a good weekend. Any reboot sequels never really lived up to the original films from the 80s. That's so true. They are pale imitations. Like, I have watched Total Recall, and I kind of... Total Recall, the remake, they had it on, basically everyone was living in Australia, as far as I think, right? And they were taking some weird shuttle through the Earth's core to London, somehow, I think, or England, or whatever. And that's where the people were working. I had Colin Farrell in it. The RoboCop thing was weird. Like, there are aspects of these films I like. I do like a lot of kind of... I do like... So the remake of RoboCop, as much as I like... there are aspects of it I do like the visual... Like the props and all that kind of stuff. But just don't reboot it. Just come up with your own thing. You can slap in things and people be like, yeah, that's RoboCop, fine. It's a rip-off of RoboCop. But they're not trying to pretend it's RoboCop, so fine, we can just put it down to whatever. Just trying to unclog your sink? What's it clogged with, dare I ask? Colin Farrell? I forget the plot or any specifics, it was so forgettable. All I remember is just like them going into this big tube thing, and like in the Earth's, like when you got to like the Earth's core area. I don't quite know how it goes through the hottest part of the planet, whatever. Magic. Like you can loot, gravity sort of goes, woo. It sort of gravity flips. That's the only thing I really remember about it. It does look great, but like, does he not have a fleshy hand in the remake? I think someone tried to explain it to me once before, and I've forgotten about it. But I think he's got a fleshy hand, which sort of gets hooked into the weird robotic body. It's a okay, Lucian, I think it must have been you who told me. I do apologize. Can you please explain? I know in the film, like, they have the option of going, do we keep the fleshy hand or do we go full on Robo? Always go full on Robo. So why in the remake does he not? They like, actually, screw it. It's a point of weakness. If he can't pick up the gun, you know, and he has to resort to his offhand or whatever you call it, it's not a good time. Surely. Then they say lose it. Yeah, they do. I do like that scene when they bring on the entire arm unit that they're going to strap onto this body. And they sort of crushes... I can't remember the actor's name. I like that guy, though. But it's like... sort of crushes his fleshy human hand in this robotic... certain amounts of... something... He said, I could crush every bone in your body. Something like that. This woman crushes his hand, yeah. I really like that film. Not very... yeah. So we're just painting the little bits of these, of the fleshy hand. We're not going to go any brighter than this, though. Ah, that's it. Miguel Ferrer. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I suspect I always butcher it. I was thinking it was something fruity. The Night Flight is another mad film. What's that about? Without spoiling the plot. Or spoiling as little as possible. I don't think I've even heard of that film. I'm trying to remember what else has he been in? Because I recognize him whenever I see it, but at the same time, I'm struggling to think right now what he's been in. Okay, I reckon that's basically... We're going to... All right, we can always glaze in small Xerius in the future. We got Droshy Violet to slap on there as well. Might do one more coat of this and then move on. It's a King story, decent horror. Oh, okay. Stephen King. I'm not massively keen on him. Although he did write, I know he wrote Shawshank and The Green Mile. But I know he wrote those. I'm not massively keen on Stephen King's books. I have read some of them. And I can't really remember being massively being blown away by them. But then again, those sorts of books aren't really my jam to begin with anyway. So that's probably not helping. He plays a really pushy reporter. Oh, I can imagine. I was trying... There was a film. there was a film with... Hold on. So it's a Paul Reiser film. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see. Was it called The Tower or something like that? It was a sort of AI-powered tower. So it's just late 80s, I think. And he was. Hold on. I'm gonna actually find it. Okay. Where is this film? Quite a while ago. Right, here we go. So Dinah, Remington. He was in Remington Steel. Flippin' Nora. Beverly Hills Cop. Aliens. Disneyland. Blah. Beverly Hills Cops 2. The Tower. 4.5 stars. 1993. A man working at an ultra-modern corporate building finds himself and a colleague trapped inside with a homicidal security system hell-bent on killing them both after perceiving them as a threat. I need to watch that film again. I've only seen it once, and I liked it. I have no idea if it's actually any good, but I was sort of 13 or 14 when I saw it. So it could be great. He was also in Stranger Things. He was in Stranger Things. Did I watch Stranger Things? Oh, I can tell you I did not watch Stranger Things, no. I know I'm going to get shouted at. But I did not get around to watching that. It's one of the things, the more people talk about it, the less inclined I am to watch it. And I think it was people were talking about it quite a lot. No, I know, Lucian, this is the problem. The more people talk about it, the less. So, for example, I'll give you many examples, okay? Example number 1. Lost. Out the window. I could do one. 24. Yeet. Didn't watch it at the time. I watched it later like a decade later, I think. What else did I not watch because of other people watching it? I just found it irritating. D&D's well, I will watch it. I will get around to watching it, Lucian, because I think it is obviously quite good. And it will probably appeal to me very much, but it's just one of those shows. Like I didn't even watch Game of Thrones when it was live. I basically waited for it to stop before I decided to watch it. Don't know why. It's I don't know. It's one of those things. Breaking Bad. Yep, that was another one. I mean, I've watched all. I tried watching. Is it Lost? Yeah, I tried watching Lost a couple of years ago. I watched maybe the first series. I don't know how many episodes are in the first series. I'm going to have a very quick Google. So this was when I was working on Lion King. I remember everyone just banging on about it all the time. It's like, God's sake. It's not that amazing. I couldn't base it on anything because obviously I didn't watch it, but that's how it was. Episodes. How many episodes are in the first series? I didn't even watch all... No, I didn't even watch the full series, episode 1. I watched 6 at the most. Breaking Bad, I did finally watch that one. I really did enjoy that. Yeah. I mean, I watched Lost. When did I try and watch it? Like 2 or 3 years ago. I just couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll give it another go. We'll see. Anywho, such is life, and various other phrases. So next up, we've got Emperor's Children. Get rid of that color. Be gone, foul beast. We're not going to slap this on all thick like. We're going to go with a sort of various glazes. Glazes. We may end up having to put it on like undiluted, but whoop in some spaces. But oh god, I can't tell if that's skin tone or I can't tell if that glaze is actual paint or if it's just my skin underneath. Whatever. We're going to slowly build that Emperor's Children's skin tone up. Now we do have a little bit of bone, which we need to paint this color on its bonds. Leave that for a moment. It's going to get very... brush hair's just bent. There we go. need small Lamy and medium. This is... Was this AFK? It's alright, Lucian. It's alright. The music has stopped there. And you know what that means. You've all got to rush to get a chair. Sit down, otherwise you can no longer play musical chairs. And that is a sad time for everybody. Okay. Let's get some auxiliary music on. Hopefully. Sabbath. Copyright free. Oh god, this might be even... Oh, this is a bit more... Let's give this a jiggle. Got some Lamy and medium. I could have sworn I had this paint. I didn't. I had to go out to the shop and purchase it. Using my legs. Using my actual legs. Hold on. We needed some of this rather than the other stuff. So, Gabba, what's up, dude? Happy Monday to you. Tell me, what did you purchase? What did you purchase? I only purchased Lucius the Eternal, and the Lord Cacophonist. I also went out and used the legs to get some of this stuff. Well, all right, you bought Fulgrim, didn't you? After saying you weren't going to get him. Is that what happened? I can understand how it would happen. I managed to employ great self-control. I might add him on as a throne thing and leave it at that. The Levi's, thank you very much, Lucian. We are getting there slowly. We are. I mean, this light is not doing. It's not helping. I think I really need to change a setting on the camera. It's a bit. Problem is, if I do that, it's slightly too dark for me. Like, I prefer it slightly brighter, so I have to change a setting on the camera. They need to hurry up with the Emperor's Children Combat Patrol, is what they need to do. That's what they need to do. Because I will buy that, and I will buy another one of these ones. I really like this mini. I will build the other one with Plasma and Whip. But I saw the Power Fist and thought, bleep, yeah, that's sweet AF. I'm just really struggling with the bases, the buttery biscuit bases. I don't know what I'm doing with the bases. If you were going to paint some Emperor's Children, and you weren't 100% sure on what scheme you're going with, what would you paint yours as? Don. Dude, thanks very much for that link, by the way. I think for the old City Up standy desk things. Oh, God, I almost lost control of the brush then. Happy Monday to you, dude. Something deeply rusted and with a heavy shade of whatever. I'm very... Yeah, I was thinking... I like the idea of a rust... I was going to say a rusty bottom. A rusty base. Sounds... Fluent Code, hello. How's it going? What's cracking, dude? Happy Monday to you as well. Hope you had a good weekend. I generally have a darker base scheme and fairly bland. If your mini is brighter. Yeah, I do agree that. If you got a jazzy mini, then a blander base makes sense. I went to purchase Lucius and the Fulgrim book, but today received an email they'd oversold their stock, and unfortunately my order had to be cancelled. Oh, God, it's like the aeroplanes. It's the aeroplanes. Oh, no, we know you've booked a seat, mate. We know you booked a seat on this flight, but someone else has it. We oversold the flight. Like, that is some BS. I'm really sorry to hear that, Gabba. Is there any way of getting it from... were you talking about the book being sold out? The Fulgrim book? Because I did receive not an email. Like when I go to my Element Games using my affiliate link... Oh, what a beautiful segue that was. Although this is probably not great. When I log in, it does say... Because their stock is... What was the word they used? I have like 8 cancelled pre-orders from Element where they failed to deliver. Yeah, I've definitely had that in the past. And it's... Please don't say we're not recording, are we? No. There we go. Delayed dispatch. I don't think I've genuinely not think I've seen delayed dispatch before from Element. So I have ordered Lucius and the Cacophonist. But when I look on my order, it says 20th of June. So I'm going to have to email them and say, look, what's the deal here? Because I also stupidly have a load of paint that I want to get. If there's a specific paint which is not around, then I'll say, look, just split the order up. I don't care. I'll pay the postage. Hook a badger up, yo. You reordered the book off GW? Oh, okay. Stock was available at time of purchase and still shows available. See, when my order went through at 10:01, so I don't. The perfect book, the perfect book. This had sold out. There were army sets there. These all had delayed dispatch attached already. Unfortunately, the dice, which is what I wanted, they'd gone at 10:01. June delivery is, yeah. So when I go, I won't go to show you my orders because it's not remotely embarrassing. But it says June, so I've got to figure out exactly what it is because I would like those paints, and I'll say, look, can I have the paints ASAP? You can do the other order stuff later. I try not to do pre-orders and paints or stuff which is like readily available at the same time, but I derped up this time, and I didn't want to lose out. So I pushed it all through at the same time, which was a mistake. Now, Element, I have found when I've emailed them with order issues in the past, they have been good and pretty quick with it. It's definitely not ideal. It's like they know their stock amount. Unless GW somehow, like, if they book like 20 books and they're only getting 10, and it's a GW side of things, but you would have thought that's not good. Oh yeah, okay. The Element had delayed dispatch versions of the pre-orders, which was for June. They didn't say June on it for me until after I ordered. It just said delayed dispatch, and I was going, what the hell does that mean? Do you reckon they've overexpanded? Because I know they've got another store in London now. They're only getting a certain amount, and like their stock is only going into the shops. Everything else, like pre-order, mail order, is getting pushed back further in the line. Do you reckon? What do you think's going on? Also, Latius, what's cracking, dude? Battle Scrig, oi oi, Savaloy, hello. Hello. They keep over-promising and then put the order onto back order. Yeah. I have tried Hobby Workshop. Basically, from my point of view, I would like to get a company which I can get an affiliate thing from. Basically, I can earn a tiny little bit of money from sort of wiggling my eyebrows suggestively at people. I think I'll try Hobby Workshop. I've purchased a few things from them, not had issues. We may see about maneuvering over. Yeah, June delivery is my birthday. Like, that's months away. 2 months away, in fact. Most recent one was Krieg from January. Never delivered. That is some BS. By June, we will want to be buying some other shiny new minis. Battle Squig, how very dare you? How very dare you? I don't have a problem. How very dare you? Listen, if it's Space Wolves or Cafe, then yes, you're absolutely correct. Oh, damn. Gabba's also wanting the Space Wolves by then as well. Okay, so we don't have a problem here. It's a communal problem, so we can dilute it. It's less of a problem when we all have the same issue. GW does unfortunately tell some dealers that they'll be getting less. That is pretty terrible of GW. If GW had been let, I mean, they do all, I think, except for printing, right? They don't do, I don't know how much printing of paperwork they do. I think, is that not? That is pretty dodgy, though. If they're saying you can order this amount and then only getting half of that, that is not good. Playing south of midnight. I'm not even sure what that is. What is it? And I wouldn't mind if it once or twice. Shit does happen, yes. But this is a repeat failure to deliver 8 over the last 2 years. Honestly, the last 2 years, I've noticed that the amount of things that I order has nosedived. Admittedly, I was living out of boxes for a good amount of that year. And this house is sort of... and also getting into 3D printing again. So, like, the amount of orders that I'm making has nosedived. We will be... which is probably a good thing, truth be told. We do have a lot of hashtag content to be working on anyway. It would be good if GW would stop coming out with cool things, though. I'm almost hoping at this point that they don't decide to do a reprint of More Time. At least until next year. Almost hoping that. Obviously not. I'm going to cave like I don't know, a damp box. And I would, Alchemist workshops have been good. Yeah. This is also the problem with Alchemist. So I have ordered from Alchemist as well. And I have had good service from them. Their website, certainly in the past, has definitely crumbled under pre-orders. I don't know if that's improved. Because I've been ordering less when it comes to pre-orders. Like big pre-orders, I should say. So I'm not really bumping into Alchemist a huge amount for that sort of stuff. But I think... What were they doing? What was the... Oh, I know why. Because I was wanting to do like a whole load of unboxing videos. I was finding that Alchemist orders... If I pre-order something, their orders don't... They appear on Monday, whereas when I order from Element Games, they seem to come on a Saturday. So from like a dreaded unboxing video for YouTube, hello YouTube, it was better that the earlier they appeared, the better. If that makes sense, like I know for like if I wasn't wanting to do unboxing videos, etc., I wouldn't care about that. That's not a major issue. South of Midnight is an action adventure set in the deep south. The bayou and stuff. Very pretty short. Story is short. Bloody hell, my reading. The story is depressing in places. Combat's a bit one-dimensional. Oh, okay. Is it more of a... Just you're playing it for the story, and like the action is more like just like you got to get through the action, so we're going to make it pretty simple. Is that kind of thing? That sucks. Unfortunately, it's a supplier issue. I heard they've opened or were in the process of opening more production space. Are they not supposed to be? I was under the impression GW were opening a fourth warehouse. I used to use Alchemist, but it's been said their site crashes. Yeah, it really does. And you would have thought, like, I know website shop stuff is not easy, and my so-called shop is not great. But you would have thought with it crumbling every time, you would have tried to look towards figuring out a way to reinforce it on those big pre-order days, or just moving entirely over to stronger system. Is that the right way of saying it? I don't know. Element does the best delivery. It does, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I mean. The pre-orders also tend to go up early about... Yeah. There was a time when I could go onto Element and I could tickle that refresh button and it would magically appear, and I thought, bleep, yeah. I'm going to order a couple of these right now. Maybe try Goblin Gaming. Oh, okay. I hadn't thought about that. Goblin Gaming I've also used. I liked Element when they first appeared, but faith in their ability to actually deliver what they're selling is just... Yeah, that's fair, Lathius. I understand. I'll order something from Goblin Gaming. Hobby Workshop I'll also give another try. I've only ordered a few things from them a couple of times, so I don't have a massive knowledge of them. Unfortunately, Element does have really good delivery when their stuff's in stock. I do like to use Goblin, but their stock seems to go quicker than Element. Maybe more people are moving. I can't remember when Element first... when I first used Element 2018, I don't know how many shops they had open, but I think they've opened 2 since then, at least. Obviously, the most recent London one and the other one, whatever that one was. Was it Nottingham? Play SOM mostly for the prettiness. Surely Lathius one just looks in the mirror for the prettiness. At least that's what I do. It's an environment you don't see in games at all that often, and the music is good too. Good music is always a good thing. Okay, this camera is definitely. I can't see if there's any. Okay, you can just about see this color's not good on my skin. Okay. Goblin, Hobby Workshop, both have always delivered if you're able to place an order, but as someone else said above, feels I have smaller stock. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that is unfortunate, because, like, or fortunate, I suppose it really depends, like. The larger the shop gets, I mean, the shop will do better the more orders it gets and stuff like that. But then you get to the point of, like, when it gets too big, things going the other way. So we are going to wash over this with some Droshy Violet once we've got to a suitable point. Wayland is very hit. I've not been massively... Like, I have used them in emergencies in the past. You look like a hobo that's been dragged through a bush backwards. At this point, mirrors detest me. Listen, it's an acquired taste, Lathius, all right? It's an acquired taste. No, hold on. There's a better word. That sounds like... No, that there's a better way of framing it. You're, not an acquired taste. A connoisseur's taste? A discerning taste. I don't know, something along those lines. Everybody used to call them waylaid as their track. Oh, really? I missed out on that. As their track record for delivery was questionable. Oh dear, it sounds like they were using every or something like that. Although every wasn't around back then. What did every used to be known as? Before their rebranding or whatever? Oh, bloody hell. Stupid wrinkly bits. Yeah, I think the only reason I ended up using Wayland is because my details were on their system, so I could check out relatively quickly. But I've not used them in quite a while. For all my whine about pre-orders, though, I probably have more backlog sitting in cupboards than I could read. No, that's not the point. That's not the point. We don't talk about it's future content. It's not backlog. We rebrand it here. We don't want to verge into toxic positivity. We want to be as positive as we possibly can for an English person, at least, or at least I want to be as positive as an English person can possibly be, without going into like too far the other way. Do you know what I mean? I really do hate like obscene amounts of positivity. Like it's like. So maybe it's more of a case of priorities. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like I know I've got a lot of projects to do in the future. We've got various armies that we want to do in the future. And we will get them done. At some point. No, we must have the impulse purchase endorphins. Well, this is the thing. You just have to order less. Like, I was very tempted to order Fulgrim. But then again, now I realised he won't be appearing in the house until June, by the sound of it. So, I'm glad I didn't order him. You still on the Dragon's Horde train? Oh yes, of course. I've already see. That's how bad my memory is, Lathius. It's terrible. I need to sort of blue tack post it those sorts of phrases in front of me so I can remember. Yes. Suppose I should say, if you want to see me paint some, talking about pre-orders, I don't know when this pre-order is going to appear. But if you would like me to attempt to paint a sweet new army, there is a large goal there. Honk, honk, honk. Okay. Drink some more coffee. Oof. What time is it? How long it... Well, I'm glad it hasn't crashed again. We only have 137 drop frames, so we're doing okay. I do wonder what that issue was initially with the... I mean, the hard drive dropped down to 10 gig. It's still on 9.62. The G drive dropped down to 78 kilobits. Because apparently I pressed the record button. Like an idiot. Somehow managed to press that button. Because it's attached to the foot pedal of doom. The ruining of hard drive button. It's just all a disaster, is what it is, Lathius. It's all a disaster. It's all a disaster waiting to happen, as far as I can tell. I was wondering if... I don't know if that's really a better placement. Anyway, we'll continue. Painting this Emperor's Children pink. We are going to... Oh, hello. Get a computer desk. I need to figure out exactly... where it's going to go. But we do need to be getting a computer desk of some variety. I was initially thinking of an L-shaped bad boy. Thinking maybe just getting a regular one. And then just adding another desk, a regular desk, on at 90 degrees. I think that might be the slightly better bit. Because I'd like to... I might be tempted to get a printer at some point. For sort of business, etc. I don't particularly want to have that whizzing up and down with the monitors, so... we may have to do that. Oh, a regular printer, not a resin printer. The desire to get more printers is always there, though. Speaking of printers, I think Elegoo have yet another sale on to tempt you to buy their things. I believe it's a... what would it be called? An Easter sale, I think. The luxury of space. Yeah, well... yeah. That is true. It like in the previous, when I was looking after my grandmother, it was a complete nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I was basically sleeping in a box room. So there was the single bed. There was room to turn 90 degrees and there was room to stand up next to the bed. And then there was the desk with the computer on. And I could get into the chair and sort of like this. But the chair was right up against the bed at that point. So I was doing that for an entire year when I was at the grandmother's old house. I think it was about a year-ish, maybe 2 years. That was a stressful... There was no painting going on then. But I was starting to learn how to cook then. I thought, well... can't be having the same old nonsense every day. Grandmother, you're gonna have to. We're gonna have you eating something else as well, even if it's my own sanity. Okay, how are we looking? very entrenched. It was very, very close, very close. It was not a big room at all. Like, it was bed. So if this is the room, there was like bed, space, desk, space like running the width of the room, like of a chair. Maybe a chair and a half, and then there was a cupboard, and then there was the door. It was very, like, close quarters. Okay, we are getting there slowly, folks. I do apologise. We don't want to go any pinker on the bonds. We will be slapping some Drushy Violet over it. We'll probably thin it down, though, rather than slap it on raw, so to speak. Folks out there who watch horror films, do you ever watch those sort of cave diving films? I know I talked about it the other week because I watched a film called The Last Descent, which I don't think it's technically a horror film, but I thought it was a bloody horror film, that's for sure. It was not remotely like it was I thought it was a relatively good film to watch, but my God. Absolutely not. Flipping Nora. Cave diving is the worst. Oh God, it's just absolute. Like I don't know why I bloody watch these films. I swear to God, I don't know why I watch. So I watched The Descent, which is a great film. I know there's a Descent too, which I have watched, and I've not watched it nearly as much, but I do need to watch it. There's another one. Hold on. Called. One. Hold on, what was it called? Okay, there was one called The Cave. Is it Sanctum is one? Sanctum, I think, is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Underwater cave diving. Yeah, just no. Absolutely not. I'm starting to feel nauseous just thinking about it. Yeah, there's a film called The Sanctum as well, which is like just wriggling. Oh god, just wriggling through those. They're not that tiny, but they might as well be. Dear God, like those tiny little holes in the rocks. Absolutely bloody not. Absolutely not. I don't understand why people do it. I don't understand. There is no pleasure involved in that at all. I've checked. Nothing. Seen Death Watch? Death Watch, no. Need to rewatch that old war horror film. Actually, hold on. Actually, now you've said that. Jamie Bell? I don't do the body horror unless it's camp enough. Hold on. The Descent. Yeah, that movie rules. I don't. Yeah, I do like horror films. I really do like horror films. But there's a certain like those incredibly cramped. Oh, just no. It's just absolutely not. Just absolutely bugger off. Thank you. But then I still watch. Like I've seen The Descent a bunch of times. Descent 2 once or twice. Sanctum and The Cave I've seen a couple of times each. And then the one I watched last week, The Final Descent, was based on a true story. It was in America. And unfortunately, the chap, he ended up going down the hole the wrong way and getting stuck. Now, we've all been there. Imagine dying simply because you stirred a bit of... Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly, Latius. Yeah, it's that one. It's that one. Like, I think he was going down the hole. He was supposed to go down feet first or something. Feet first. But he ended up going head first. And it's like an unmapped... It's called the Nutty... what was it called? Well, there's a set of caves somewhere and they went down an unmapped part of it. Final Descent. Was it Final Descent? The Last Descent. That was... I don't think I'd heard of that film. Like, I maybe had heard of it in the news, potentially. Like I saw it on. I thought it was actually a horror, like a proper horror film. I thought it was like the third part of the Descent series. Like I thought it was Descent 1, Descent 2, and I was thinking this was like the third part. I was like, okay, I'll watch this. So that's why I watched it, and it evidently wasn't that. I thought it was a good film. And it's just making me feel sick just thinking. Nutty Putty Cave, that was the one. Yeah, just not remote. I just feel stressed even thinking about it. Lad from Billy Elliot is in Death Watch. Yeah, I need to... Okay, I will add that to the list. Yeah, I don't... It sounded vaguely familiar. Just from the Nutty Putty part of the cave. So I assume I would have seen it on the news or something at some point, but like, I don't know. Not my idea of fun. Quite stressful by this, like just thinking about it. Death Watch though. So, tell me about Death Watch. Can we get on to proper horror? Jamie, I see, and some chap with a name I can't pronounce. You acute AIDHRI acute? I don't know where. What is that name? Is that Irish? I'm saying it's Irish. I could be really wrong. Nutty Putty isn't cave diving. Sorry, no, I know it's not cave diving. I can't remember what the what that term is that people do when they go through the really whatever it is. But I'm adding it into the same vague category as cave diving, like with like scuba gear and stuff like that. It's absolutely not remotely. Like I will dive in the open ocean, with all the colourful fish. That's about the limits of the diving that I will do. Like where I can see the surface, like right just up there. Spelunk, is that what it's called? Yeah, I know people who do that are mad. Sorry. I used to love horror watching up, especially monster slasher movies. The genre felt like it kind of changed to people being evil to each other and spirit things you can't interact with. And you sort of lost interest. That's fair. I'm trying to remember the first horror film I watched. I watched a bunch of them. I remember watching Candyman with my youngest brother. Like my middle brother and I watched Candyman with my youngest brother, which was terrible of us, but he hated it. But we watched it together because he wanted to be with us, when we were watching films. We were not 18, these films. We were not 18. We were sort of, I don't know. Spelunking might be worse because it takes weeks to yeah. Oh, okay, I have heard of Death Watch then. Yeah, it's sounding more familiar, but I've definitely not seen it. There's horror in it. It was pretty good from what I remember. You replaced them for IG and 40k. Oh, okay. I'll have to hunt it down. So, Chad, how's it going, dude? Happy Monday. I hope you had a good weekend. The false hope of rescue. Yeah. It's just... just no. Just absolutely not. I couldn't get past the egg hatching part of Gremlins. Really? When they were all sort of bubbling and popping? I used to watch up to that part, then I'd take the VH step and... That's fair enough. Like, I've always... I like horror films. Especially, I think... The ones... I do still watch them, but I'm not massively fond of found footage ones, because I know it's like kind of a... I don't want to say a cheap... It's a cheaper way of making a film. I still watch them if the story's good. I mean, I like watching bad films, and I like watching films which obviously have not a AAA Hollywood budget. I'm trying to think of what the first horror. Like, we watched Candyman, Hellraiser, Freddy Krueger. My brother did not like Freddy Krueger at all. We used to scrape our fingernails and make that sort of noise. He used to hate us for that. Bless him. What else did we watch? Candyman, Halloween, Friday 13th. What else? Whatever those like 80s, 90s horror films. Candyman was great, based on a short story by the British. Was it Clive Barker? Was it? Yeah, Tony Todd. Jesus. He like terrified my youngest brother. He did such a good job in that film. I also used to set my alarm for 2:45 to sneak downstairs and secretly record the shock gore anime sci-fi channel I used to run. Bloody hell. Yeah, like... I don't even think... No, we never did that. We certainly enjoyed watching those films. Heard there's supposed to be a new Hellraiser in the making. Oh God. What do you reckon? How are they gonna cock it up, ladies and jelly spoons? Lay your bets. What do you reckon? God, this colour is absolutely horrific. I swear to God, it's more pink. It's just been completely washed out by this bright light. I do apologise. We're going to have to remedy this because it's not great. Um, I do have to keep my eye on the time. I have to finish in 52 minutes. Oh, hello, Betty. One released about 2 years ago. There was oh, really? I missed it. Did I? Was it good? Did they do a good job of it? Or did they make a right pig's ear of it? First horror I remember as a kid was Leviathan. I watched it as a kid through a glass door, sitting perched on my stairs, so Mum didn't know I was watching it. Scared the crap of me out with that Leviathan. Hold on, what? Peter Weller, RoboCop, Deep Sea Miners. A mutant creature that's a product of a failed genetic experiment. I don't know if I've watched this. Someone who's not keen on watching films. We were just talking about cave diving and stuff. Like this is, I don't know, this is better than cave diving. I would watch that. I don't think I've seen it. Like when I was living in the States, I watched so Lake Placid, right? I don't really know if that's counted as a horror, but I like that one a lot. Deep Blue Sea. I'm not entirely sure if that's a horror either, but whatever. Virus, I liked, with Donald Sutherland in. That was cool. And there was also another film. When they take over, some people take over a pleasure cruiser ship thing. They break in, and there's no one aboard. Ooh, what's happened to them? Ooh. Deep Rising, thank you. I always forget the name of that film. I love that film, but every time I try and think of it, I was like, what the hell is that film called? I really like that one. I watched that all the time when I was living in Pittsburgh. Sharon Shaza is in that one. Books of Blood is quite... Not even heard of that. Huh. Virus you like? That was awesome. Lake Placid is it a comedy? Really? Okay. Oh god, we need to either paint more or chat less. It's a sci-fi horror. Deep Blue. Deep Blue Sea. That had the sharks in. Deep Blue, was that... Did it have Paul Dubry Firkins in? They've made Deep Blue Sea 2 and 3 as well. Is that the octopus one? Well, octopus is one word. I don't think it's supposed to be an octopus, though, yeah. You watched Iron Man in America? I watched Iron Man in America as well. Loved it. And that's still my favorite Marvel film. Not massively into Marvel. I don't even think I've saw the last of... Was it called End Times or something? End Times, that's... What's that last one from that series? I don't think I even bothered watching it. The guy from The Mummy gets like exactly. He does get digested. He has a whale of a time. Sorry, Deep Blue Sea. I'm getting my films mother. I like Deep Blue Sea because it has the sharks in. I like Deep Rising because it has the monster in it. Deep Blue Sea was Samuel L. Jackson, yeah. Leviathan was miles ahead of... I don't think I've seen it. I'm going to have to hunt that one down. Thank you very much for bringing it up, Chad. Gets eaten near the start, yeah. Deep Blue Sea has genetically modified sharks to have high intelligence. Yeah, that's exactly what you want. You want those really intelligent sharks. Problem-solving sharks. This is like Tremors having... Oh, God, yeah. Well, Tremors 2 was interesting because they had some things with legs. Then they had the Tremors 3 with a flying thing. I think they called it the Ass Blaster. In film. Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, was that Tremors 3? Endgame. Okay, so I don't know if I've watched Endgame. I might have watched it, but it was evidently not good enough for me to remember. Like, I remember the plot of Virus pretty well. I remember the plot of Deep Blue Sea. I might get the name of the film muddled up, but I still remember these things. Anaconda, I've only seen once or twice. I did try and watch it somewhat recently. Owen Wilson being digested by a giant anaconda. It's a good time. Your headcanon Leviathan is prequel to The Thing. As someone who loves The Thing, I will absolutely watch that then. I will hunt that down. And I'll bear that in mind, even though it's, whatever. Inquisitor Gadget. Moon Eyes, what's cracking? Hello. Happy Monday. What's cracking? Hold on, I missed something. You don't. I don't watch them much either. So I watched Iron Man, loved it. I can't remember the order they came out in. I did like Captain America. Did I like the first Thor film? Potentially. I'm not entirely sure. What were the other offshoot from the Marvel films? I'm not entirely sure. But I'm just saying Captain America and Iron Man I did enjoy. And the first Avengers, yes. But apart from that, I'm just like, not massively keen on them as a thing. Marvel movies are all style, no substance. I enjoyed the Spider-Man movie, which I was pondering that. That was going to be my next question. What is your favorite? Who is your favorite Spider-Man? I suspect that will become almost a generational thing almost, because they seem to spit those films out a lot. I do like the Tobey Maguire ones. Like the Garfield. What's his name? That guy. What's his name? You feel, Chad, don't even have to feel, know within yourself that Disney have really done a lot of bad things to cinema. Yeah, I do agree with you. Andrew Garfield, yeah. Thank you, Don. Spider-Verse was incredible. Have I watched that one? I guess, was that the one when all three Spider-Men appeared? Because I did like that. When Tobey Maguire appeared, I did like that bit. So I think Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, but I think the Tom Holland movies are better. But you have a soft spot for the original. So I have heard people say things along those lines, Chad, yeah. Like, I remember when I was growing up, was it a TV film? I think it was a TV film. Hold on, we're gonna. So much for painting. We're actually talking about superhero films. So, So it would have been an 80s Spider-Man film. Was it? Oh God! Please don't say it's a 1977 one. Welcome back from the ads, Tommy. You haven't seen that one, but Into the Spider-Verse is a CG one. Oh, I've not seen that. I don't really like animated things. Don't do much for me. Like I'll watch them, but I just Spider-Man. Okay, there was a TV film of. I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. Okay, so this might have been a 1977 film of Spider-Man that I've seen once. And I just seem to remember Spider-Man crawling on the wall or something. I can't really remember much beyond that. Honestly, the best Spider-Man movie is the Spider-Man cartoon TV show around the mid-90s. I used to love that cartoon. I don't know... Like, I Saturday morning cartoons with my brothers was a good time. Enter the Spider-Verse, he found to be pretty trippy, like how I imagine watching anime on LSD would feel. There's a visual feast for being unique. I might dabble it in. I might have a look. I have heard of it. I just get confused with all the film names, honestly. It doesn't help having a bad memory. Second, see, I haven't watched Batman the Animated Series. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Batman Beyond was great. Yeah. I've no idea. Batman Beyond. Help if I could type. If I could type properly. Oh, the Batman of the Future in European territories, apparently. Okay, that's another one I've not watched. Yeah, I just not really seen those, I'm afraid. That was only an hour of... Got some aggressive dark synth. See what this one's like. Bang this one on. I really wanted the latest Batman movie to have Batman Beyond. I think it would have been a much better fit. So when you say the latest Batman movie, can you remind me, please? Get my old brain up to date. All right, we're almost ready to do... Ooh, hello. We're almost ready to do... the next stage. I do wonder if maybe around the edges of these little like weird arm... These weird arm bits here, we should have highlights. As well, maybe. Oops. The one with the guy from Twilight. I got conned into watching that film. A sparkly vampire. Conned is the wrong word, by the way. I don't think I've not seen that one. I've not seen that Batman. Instead of Bruce Wayne is based on a new Batman in the future which I'm not a Bruce Wayne fan. He preferred Terry McGinnis. Emo Batman. Ragnar, what's cracking, dude? Happy Monday. You need your boy Terry. I know I'm in the minority, but I really liked Batfleck. I don't know if I hated that. I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once, so I don't really have an opinion. Like, I don't watch Batman films. Like, as far as I'm concerned, best Batman, Michael Keaton. Thank you very much. Argument over. Conversation over. That's all that needs to be said. Everything after Michael Keaton is basically who's the runner-up in the race. Your net. No. Ragnar, we've only had... Actually, we just did have a splurge more of dropped frames then. 681, though. They are dropping a little bit, but not... We've only dropped a few. I'm not blaming it on you, Ragnar. It's all right. You feel dirty. You can't even explain why. I don't think... It's all right, Chad. I'm not judging you. Badge, have you seen Black Widow Venom? No, I've not seen Black Widow. Wait, hold on. I've seen a Black Widow film, and I have seen Venom. Yes, but I'm not sure all in one film. No. Okay, drop frames. I don't understand what's going wrong with my stupid internet then. Like, I'm not wirelessly connected. I am... I'm going to have a rummage around the computer and see if I can have... I wish I knew. I'm very sorry, folks. Thank you very much for sticking. Thanks, Ragnar. I justify it like this. I was going through my old man life phase, and I think Affleck really makes Batfleck look like he's old and can't be asked this stuff. Oh, okay. Maybe I've not seen it. It's fine again now. Yeah, we were at 680. We did drop a couple of frames back then. Not many, but we did drop some. I'm sorry. Ping plotter? All right, I will attempt to do that, Ragnar, next time. You never fell for a symbiote before, but Black Widow is... Oh, God. It honestly, this is the thing. When people start merging names into to make other names, I get very confused. But at least you know if it's your net or your computer. Yeah. Well, the problem is, Ragnar, during the stream, I accidentally smashed the record button. So what? On my OBS, I got like the rectangular view that you get #blessed with. But I also have a vertical view, which I installed because I wanted to record vertical format. Obviously, you'll know that from watching all of my TikToks and all of the shorts and reels that I do across the internet. No, I never got around to doing anything with that. But I do have a record button tagged to it. So earlier this stream, I mashed the wrong button and recorded and completely nuked my G drive. I destroyed that G-spot, and there was like 78 kilobits left on the hard drive. I didn't realize. So that caused a bit of the problems, and I do apologize. But the other set of problems was not me. I was not accidentally recording. That was definitely a OBS dash Twitch dash not me problem. Venom, Black Widow. Okay, hold on. Venom, meh. I did watch that one quite recently because I've only seen it once, and I thought, I'll give it another go. Black Widow, bad. Birds of Prey was the worst. Was the worst movie I'd ever seen. Was it? I haven't watched it, but I've seen Spice World. So, you'd watch the Marvels and you gave up on Disney Star Wars. Yeah, I watched Disney Star Wars. Was it 7 and 8? I never went back to the cinema for the final one. I don't think I even know what happens. You really dislike Rings of Power, as does everyone else. It's all right. Ping Plotter. I will bear that in mind, Ragnar. Thank you for the heads up on that. Next Batman is going to be Lady Gaga musical like the last Joker movie. I only saw the first Joker movie. And I'm not watching the next one. No, it's all right, Tommy. It's all right. It's all right. I was quite impressed. On the pedal, I have the scene change to make sure I'm not showing anything weird on the screen. Oh god. So I have it. The pedal goes to this one right here. Okay, the share the screen one, right? And then back again. So I can do that hands-free. The other two buttons, big buttons, one is a record for the main screen, the other one's for the little rectangular vertical bad boy. But I moved the pedal over and I forgot. I just mashed the wrong one. Is that Marvel or something? No idea. Frogs was pretty bad. Trying to remember what Batman Universe film I saw last. I haven't seen a second. Just heard the disappointment. I know. I've also heard the disappointment. Thankfully, there are people out there who will sacrifice their sanity for the greater good. God bless them. A little bit more of this. I have mixed feelings about the Joker movie. On one hand, I like it because it's different and made me feel something different. On the other hand, I don't think I liked what I felt. I had the same thing watching Adolescence. Oh god, that's the one in the news all the time these days, isn't it? I still find the new direction in which Ridley Scott is going with Alien and Major... I'm trying not to get too depressed about it. You enjoyed Romulus? Is that the most recent one? I get so Prometheus was the first one. Then there was something. Then there was another one. I liked aspects. I like the scenery and set design and stuff like that of Prometheus and the other one, the second one. I like those things, and I can separate them from the alien aspect of things. Like I do really enjoy like spacecraft and all that kind of stuff. So like I really like Prometheus's set design, like the way they threw the film together, stylistically and all that stuff. Not happy with the alien side of things, but I just try and scoop that part of my brain out and yeet that in the bin. And like I'm blaming Prometheus is why I basically bought into Star Citizen. I accidentally purchased a Carrack. I thought that's as near as I'm going to get to owning it, and it'll do. For me, it was like a lot of movies using older franchises. It should have been its own thing with its own characters. It didn't feel like the world that had been established for that franchise. Yep. Yep. I don't like the whole cashing in on old movie names and completely rewriting all the characters. Lathius, yeah. Ruh-roh. I can understand that. I think I'm trying really hard to be a fan, but it felt very Goonies in space. It did. Because they were all sort of, I don't know if they were teenagers, but that's what it certainly felt like. I don't know how they... Yeah. They could easily just split that off and have it as just a different creature kind of film, you know? Anyway, we do have Star Citizen. I got a few ships. Not really played it in massive amounts. Certainly not recently. Maybe we'll get back to playing it a little bit at some point. I don't know. There's no guarantee on that. Yeah, I don't know. Lathius, I mean, I need to remember how to play the game. There's so many bloody buttons. It's terrible. Terrible. And I'm not good at it. Like, I'm not one of these people who've managed to sink hours, hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into it. I've got maybe 10 hours. You know? I just like walking around spaceships. Don't judge me. I'm not saying no, but like what I'm saying is either we'll do an entirely new channel just for random gaming streams, which I do have, but I don't know if we'll start with a fresh one. Or like when we hit like sub goals, monthly sub goals and stuff like that, we can slide in auxiliary gaming streams. I'll be able to sort of do that. I haven't had it installed for a year. So I know I have a few cool ships. I got the Carrack. I have a... I ended up going like... I really like the aspect of EVE Online for sort of exploration. So I thought Star Citizen exploration ships. So I have it's a 350p, which is a single-seater sort of vaguely exploration craft, apparently. I think I have a Freelancer, maybe. I've got the next one up, like the bigger, cool... I've forgotten what it's called. But I have one of those exploration vehicles. What's it called? I'm going to Google it really quickly. This is very irritating. I wish I could remember ship names. I'm keeping my eye on the time as well. My favorite part of sci-fi movies is the world building. Absolutely, I'm with you there, Chad. Yeah, and the shipbuilding. I've owned Alien Isolation since it came out. I wish that it didn't give me a nervous breakdown. Unfortunately, like stress can help. is a good seizure thing for me. If I want to have a seizure, then stressing myself out is one way to do it. I never finished it, but I will play it again at some point. I don't know when, but I will. We're going to look at the ships of Star Citizen. Not my ships. We're not logging into my account. I have... God, this... I have a 315. Sorry, I said a 350. So I got a 315. It's a Pathfinder. Very jazzy. I liked it. Ooh. God, I remember them adding these things. Ripley. We need to get one of those. I have a version of these, I think, or I might have upgraded that to a thing. Okay, that's a good one. Oh god, they've added so many things. Ghosts of Mars. Oh, who's in that? Remind me, because I have seen that film. You rewatched Pitch Black a few weeks ago. I like that film. I still like the original one. I know they did a couple of others, and also an animated one, I think. I like these spirit ships. The Hercules. I mean, look at the price, though. The Carrack. So I have this bad boy. I did not... I saw this ship not long after watching Romulus. Sorry. After Prometheus, excuse me. The Carrack. Unfortunately, I saw this and caved. Like, I don't know what came over me. But it's very sexy. It's terrible. Oh, here we go. Constellation. Which is the one I have? I have a Constellation. This one. Jack Frags isn't very... I think I've seen a few of his Star Citizen ones. Only a couple, though. You got the Reclaimer, Guardian, F7A, and the Med Pisces. I was very... the Reclaimer is always tempting. I like, Jack is one of... I've watched... Like, I usually watch his videos. It's been a while... I say usually and then smash that into... But I've not watched him recently. I just... Not watching masses of YouTube these days. Maybe when I get more time, I will. So I have one of these as well. This is another exploration ship. I suppose if I own the bloody things, I should play the game and actually fly around and crash them into things. I have two accounts. So on my other one, I have a Cutlass Black. For some reason. Yeah. Reclaimer has a real Nostromo vibe. See, saying things like that doesn't help. I might have a freelancer on the main account. The potentially. I don't know. The Hammerhead, very cool. Is the whole E out yet? The Mole, there's like a manufacturing one. You plonk it down on the planet and it can start building. I know, like when I last played it, they were talking about that being a thing. I'm dropped frame 0. My dropped frames went to 0 again. I mean, down to 0. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I'm going to blame Disney, as always. Because the Disney is the root cause of many evils. And probably my Twitch issues at the moment. The Pioneer. Oh, God, I just saw the price. I just saw the price of the Pioneer. So this is the ship I was talking about. I didn't realize it was going to be almost $1,000. Ooh. Ooh. So there's the Raft and the Reclaimer. See, I was pondering, I think, swapping my Cutlass, whatever it's called, to one of these. because this does look really cool. Lathius. Yeah, the Pioneer is going to be a huge base building ship. I mean, maybe if we get into like full-time Star Citizen streamer, we can have that as like a guild. Guild? I don't know what they're called. Corporations in this game. It's chill doing salvage in it. A bit of a fiddle running it solo. That's a cool ship. It is a cool ship. I'm trying not to get... I'm just very... I just like the idea of space. I'm sorry. So what we've got now is... What do we got? I think we've got to pay a little more attention to his right hand. And then we're going to smash a bunch of... I do see that I have a name reservation for my Carrack. Do you have a name reservation for your Reclaimer? And what does that mean exactly? I mean, I can understand the words. Is it like a one-time thing only, though? Needs to use 3 different seats. Oh, God. So I've not dabbled into... Can you play the game and just be like a crew member for someone? I believe so. Yes. So, for example... For example, Chad, if you were to get the game, you can just guild... Well, I don't know. However they do it. Fly around in Lathius' ship doing... I'm not saying he's up for it, just to clarify. But I mean, hypothetically, like, you could hop into their ship and go and do missions and do stuff, you know? Yeah, then join friends. Exactly. So I have a few multi-person ships, 2 or 3 of them, and I do want to get into playing the game. It's just that is going to require time, which I'm hoping is going to be in my immediate future. Well, this is the thing. Chat. I don't really have any shooty ships at the moment. Unfortunately, you'll notice I added the word "at" or the words "at the moment" into that. If I get into playing that game, I would like to get a shooty ship. But all of my ships at the moment, they're all basically exploration, which is what I hypothetically like in a space game when I play it. Lathius, what shooty ship would you get? Multi-person shooty ship. I always like... There was one designed by the community, which was interesting. Redeemer? Would it be the Redeemer? A lot of the ships are designed to need multiple people to get the most out of them. Supposedly the Paladin is previewing the next ship showdown. You've only got single-seaters. Or what's your Reclaimer? You're so complacent anyone could sneak on your ship. You need security. Oh, no, I know, Chad. But, I mean, my security at the moment is not playing the game at all. It's terrible. It's really bad. Like, I've got some expensive ships that I purchased with my own money for whatever reason back then, and I've, like, not used it. So I would like to remedy that and actually play it. But that is going to involve that some game timing is going to happen soon. TM, not this month, probably. But I'm hoping. Like I really do, because I'm hoping I can make some gaming time happen. Like how stuff is starting to get a bit more relaxed, and stuff like that. Just a matter of time. F7A is a medium fighter, lots of guns. And the Guardian is a heavy long-range fighter. And the Reclaimer is a salvage ship. Is that one person? That's the big bad boy one, right? They got heavily nerfed. Damn it. That looks like a hair iron. What's wrong with the hair iron? Everyone needs to iron their hair, surely. Folks, I do apologise today, but I've no idea what happened with stream. It's been very weird. So what we're going to do is, we've got our basic Genestealer here. What we're going to do is we're going to smash on some of this, some Drushy Violet, over the majority of this. We're going to thin it down a smidge with a little bit of, just a smidge. We're not going to go over the what's it, but we just wanted a little bit of excess. We're going to smack some of this bad boy on. Just to sort of, I don't know, do whatever it is. Tint the surface of the pink a little bit, just to sort of knock it back a smidge. Make it a little less kind of popcorn. Popcorn? That's bubble gum. And then we can always do another layer if required. So I think we are going to do some excess highlighting on the carapace a little bit more. But I think tonight I'll get this finished painted off camera probably. I was actually naively hoping to get this done on camera. But that was wishful thinking. But I think tonight I'll get this finished. So that means we'll get the base done. We need to get this little bit of, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Something or other done on the top of his. We'll get it painted this color basically. And then get that done. Sorry chat, I'm not ignoring it. I got to get this done. Got a tiny little bit of painting to do off camera. Slap some steel on the base and some rust, and then we'll hopefully go, oh, we did a good job. Oh, we've got to do the eyes and the base. And a little bit of highlighting on the carapace again. Right. The Redeemer was the gunship that got nerfed. Okay. They changed the turret guns to be... Oh, really? Did they... Kind of wanted a paladin? As I've been mostly playing solo up till now, it's pointless. You're printing a Redeemer right now, but not that Redeemer. Which Redeemer are you printing? Yeah, I think we're definitely going to make some time for gaming. Like, I think in the general gist of my week is spend the week streaming to Twitch and YouTube, editing, and also printing. And then the general plan was to Saturday morning do work, Saturday afternoon, evening take off, and then Sunday morning take off, Sunday afternoon take off, and then do some sort of editing or store stuff in the evening. So there is a little bit of wiggle room. We could potentially play games. I don't know if it'd be specifically on this channel though. I want to try and keep things miniature orientated. So we might initiate a second channel just for dodgy gaming. You want to have a look at the Polaris if you haven't checked it? Okay, Latius, if I end up buying it, I'm going to blame you. And I will bill you for it. I won't bill you for it. But Hold on. I really like the Puppets War tanks of Space Marines. I'm printing their Redeemer procs. Okay. I'm familiar with Puppets War, but not that familiar. Hold on. Okay, hold on. At the moment, I'm just lining up Lathius to blame him. He's very generously let me do that. I am a human. Puppets War. You don't think it's on sale? I will look at it anyway. Oh, God. The Redeemer is called Pitbull. Okay. I have a Puppets War. Oh, God. Lathius, get printing. Come on now. Oh, okay. So that is like a... What would you call that? Is that sort of Land Raider size, or is it slightly more Rhino size? Because to me, it looks like a merging of those two. It's got the angled front, like the track sort of shape of the Rhino, but it's got sponsons on the side, but it has a front bit like a. It has a front bit like a... Hold on. It's got a front bit like a Land Raider. Tracks like this, sort of. They're Bulldog APC. I've looked at the Polaris, by the way. I like it. Listen, we got this goal here first. I mean, if I do a gaming channel, then we can slap a massive, ridiculous goal on for accidentally buying a Polaris. Nimble Corvette class capital ship. See, I don't have a Corvette. And that's a terrible tragedy that I don't have one of those. That is cool. They got people in there playing chess. And they got someone painting they got someone in there painting miniatures. This could be our miniature painting ship. Look, there's it. Oh, no, I tell a lie. I thought that was a paintbrush and a miniature. He's eating sort of Chinese food with some chopsticks. All right, it's basically the same thing. Damn it. I was looking for reasons to buy a really cool looking spaceship. Damn. I swear to God, I promise I wasn't. Damn it. This was medical. See, this is the problem. They got some really cool ship designs in this game, and unfortunately, some games. I thought this is the table of like, nerds, etc., doing their hobbies. No, he was actually eating. Like, I like the aesthetics of a lot of these ships. Some games you play and like the aesthetic of the ships are just like, not really buying into this nonsense. I don't know what the designer was on. Evidently, they were mad. Bulldog is the Rhino chassis. That's how you eat your miniatures? Yeah. You can land fighters and stuff in the back. All right, dude. Thank you very much for hanging out. I think we'll be wrapping up relatively shortly because I've just seen the time. But yeah, there is a good chance I do want to get into playing games, not just Star Citizen. But I do want to play that. So I don't know. But first of all, Genestealers. I'm calling. I am pretty happy. Like, for tabletop miniatures, I'm happy at this level. This is not finished, obviously. We've got the eyes. We got the claws. Now, the only question is, folks, I like the idea of sort of obsidian, or whatever the... Obsidian, would you call it? Onyx? That really dark, glossy black rock kind of thing. That whatever that is. I kind of like that idea for claws, but then again, we could also just go with the classic bone colors. You walked into one of the showrooms when they had the Polaris in there for the first time and just standing under it looking up felt like an old movie where they pan along the out. Yo, talking about that, I need to watch Event Horizon. That's tonight's film. Felt so massive and cool. Oh, Obsidian is the greeny one. Okay, thank you, dude. So I was thinking like maybe you do Black Claws. Or just bone. I think probably, I mean, ivory, I should say, like, I was going to say human bones, but whatever. I love Event Horizon. That is also on my, I was going to say my top 10. I've already listed my top 10. Top 20. Probably number 11, in fact. So I am happy with the pink flesh tone we've got. It's similar-ish to the one we've got here. I think it works. I mean, obviously I could spend more time blending and doing like highlights and all that stuff, but for a tabletop mini, I'm happy. So we will do the bone, the teeth, the eyes, and the base, and I will varnish the Watsits out of it. Then we got another like 20 odd of these bad boys to do, but I will not be batch painting them on stream, folks. Don't worry. I'll be turning one into a YouTube video. So if you frankly don't have the patience for my really slow, sensual painting style on stream, you'll be able to see a video of that on my YouTube channel. I am dual streaming right now to YouTube, so if you are there, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications and all that good nonsense. But otherwise, if you're on Twitch, there is my YouTube channel somewhere, I hope. But that's basically kind of it. I got a little bit of painting tonight. I'm going to go and have some food because I'm absolutely ravenous. I do apologize. I have no idea what the hell was going on with stream today. It is very irritating when stream just randomly dies. Obviously, I caused one of the problems due to being a legend. But you know, I don't know what the other problem. I don't know what the other issues are. We do seem to be having a lot of them. However, I will do the raid thing. What we'll do first is we're going to wrap up the YouTube stream. I will not be going anywhere. Twitch, don't you go anywhere. I'll just wrap up YouTube right now. And I'd like to say thank you very much for hanging out, YouTube. I will see you tomorrow. We're not painting Genestealers on tomorrow's stream. Probably a Terminator, a Space Marine of some variety. So hopefully I'll see you then. Thank you very much, and I will see you on tomorrow's stream, YouTube. Thank you.